Hello, Nasdaq followers, and welcome to another edition of Nasdaq Spotlight. My name is Leanne Alfaro, and we're coming to you live from New York City at the Ping Identify Conference. Right here, we're hearing from real enterprises and hearing a little bit more about identity intelligence as well as managing identity across multi-cloud platforms. So here to talk a little bit more about identity security is Tim Skinner. He's Information Security Manager at BlueCross, BlueShield, Tennessee. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, tell us a little bit about BlueCross, BlueShield, Tennessee and how you've implemented Ping Identity's intelligent identity platform.
Sure. It started with us as a technology refresh, really. So we had an older version of identity and access management tools for our customer identities and our customer-facing applications. We looked at Ping to kind of modernize that stack of technology. So we deployed that to update really our technology stack to support all the current technology standards, especially for security and identity, along with consolidating some multiple systems that were doing the same jobs, right? So we had many different systems that were performing the same activities, and we can consolidate that all into one, kind of lower our cost of doing business and ease our administration a bit.
Now, this is no small feat, this consolidation that you talk about, because what I learned is that BlueCross BlueShield of Tennessee has the largest benefits plan in Tennessee. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay.
And that's you know, in excess of 2 million users. I think it was maybe 2.5. We had to migrate that in a fashion that didn't impact them in any way. So that was our challenge, and it really leveraging the tools as they were out of the box default features from Ping allowed us to do that without having to do any customization or anything like that. And our end users didn't really understand or know that the underlying systems were being upgraded.
And moving forward, how is this going to kind of transform the experience for what you would consider BlueCross BlueShield Tennessee's customers?
Oh yeah, well I mean, there's lots of different options for that. It really depends on what our business wants to do. So when we talk about what kind of an experience we want our customers or our members to have when they come and log into our website, from a security perspective, we want to not get in the way, but we also want to provide reasonable assurance that the security controls are adequate for protecting their data. So lots of new standards-based options that we didn't have support for in the past. I mean, one of the big ones, you know, could be you know, social log on using your Gmail ID. Not saying that we're going to do that, but I mean, we have that as an option now, where we didn't before.
Now, we're in an environment right now where security breaches are very much in the media, very much in the news. What does that mean for the future of IAM, or identity and access management, particularly in the healthcare industry?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, for us, we're in the healthcare payer space. So that's our kind of sweet spot. But in general, I think when it comes to breaches, we are focusing on cyber resiliency, and that you know, it allows us to be able to recover faster. When a breach happens, you don't want to take months to figure it out. You need to be able to respond immediately, stop the bleeding, and have a response plan that's going to be effective. The identity aspect of that is making sure that you know whose data was affected, and being able to have a communication plan and respond appropriately to the right people in the right time. Because if you don't have good identity foundation in place, you could lose data, but you could end up not knowing whose data you lost. And if you don't have good identity practices in place, that's what could happen.
And that's certainly something to be concerned about, something to really care for, particularly in the healthcare industry where it's all dependent on data. Yeah. That's all your patients right there, and so much more information. So thank you so much, Tim, for telling us a little bit more about how Ping Identity is working with BlueCross BlueShield in Tennessee.
Thank you.
Nasdaq followers, please stay tuned. We have more coverage coming to you live right here from the Ping Identity